Okay, I want to do this quick update on the project, the worm prop. This is what I have so far. I'm going to be going with this design here for the pattern of the bolts and the axles to spin the worms. What I have here are two sealed bearings. Let me bring that back into the view. You can see the bolt here, the carriage bolt. Next is the 1/4 inch sealed bearing. There's a nut in between and another bearing here. That's so that when it's inside the ply board, you have two bearings, top and bottom, to give support with the distance in between. The washer there that comes next above the bearing is to support it against the wood as a stop to hold everything right in place. The ply board itself is 3/4 inch, so the width of the bearing is 0.19, so it's almost a 1/20th of an inch wide. So the distance between this one nut, and the second bearing is almost 3/4 of an inch. So that gives me plenty of support. There's a little bit of movement, but I'm not really that concerned with it being absolutely perfect. I believe the slop comes from the drill giving way once it goes through, and there's a little bit of movement and the top one gets a little bit loose, but I'm not really that concerned with that. So this is the design I'm going with. This was the setup I was going with when I was going to use a rubber band or some type of belt system. I'm going to need to put linkage into these, and I'll be drilling on opposite sides here so that one linkage goes here and this one goes to where it needs to go, and kind of provide a linkage from one to the next. So like this one here would be linked to this one, and then this side would be linked to this one, so that you have your linkage out of the way. Also, this system, I thought it provided more of a rotation for a 180 degrees turn. In fact, it's more of a 33% rotation. It does about a third rotation on the axle there. You can see the nut here rotates. This isn't quite tight enough, and it's the old system that I had. But this provides a third rotation, which is actually perfect with the linkage, so that the linkage doesn't lock up against the bolt as it revolves around. If it went 180 degrees around, your linkage, when it comes back to this side and going over here, would bind and bend on the bolt itself. So by providing a third rotation from here to here, you maintain that straight line between all your links and everything. So it actually was a accidental blessing that this system going through here, this is the way that the motor would revolve. So you have this type of system going through here, rotating that about a third, so that the linkage won't lock up against the bolt here and cause problems. And like I said, I'm going to go to this lower form here. I'm going to probably be moving to a rubber tubing to go on the ends of these, just because the speed of my motor, I can't get it to go slow enough, which is okay. But the motor goes so rapidly, I think the straws would self-destruct after a few seconds. So this is going to have quite a velocity to it and everything. So, and I may have to do multiple stacks of these, to where one set of linkage goes to the lower and one goes to the upper. So kind of the one going in would go to, like, say, the lower one, and then the one going out goes to the upper one, just for space. I'm not sure yet. I'm pretty sure this is going to work here. I used also to kind of update. Let's see, there we go. This is a self-locking with a Teflon O-ring in it, the nut there on top, so that doesn't slip or go anywhere. Also, at the bottom here, you need this bottom one here. Right, let me get the light on it just right. This one needs to stay just a little bit loose so that your bearings aren't locked up and everything. And the nut there kind of floats a little bit, but I think once it binds to a point, it'll loosen also from the rotation. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. If so, I could put Loctite on them, lock them all down. But it took me a while to figure out that this one here needs to be just a little loose, or else that bearing is no longer a bearing and just a heavy piece of metal in there. Then there's the nut in between there. That nut is tightened up against this here, which kind of locks the two together with the washer in between. The washer will be drilled out with a hole on each side, like I said earlier. So that's the system I'm going with. Each one of these will have two linkages. This will link to this one, and then this one will go to this one. This side will go to this one, like over here. This side will go to here, and this side over to here. The final connection in between won't happen because it's unnecessary and it'd cause more problems than good. So I don't need it to go like a full circle, but I do need them to follow kind of the same way the belt system that I had planned would follow. So this is the, it's called a 4-link. I think because the motor also has a link on it. But it's basically what's used for a water pump to get your windmill that goes in a circular motion to create the pump action for your water pump. So if you look up online, it'll give you more information about that, and that's how I come up with that, for that to create the axles to start. I'm not sure if there's going to be a little bit of a delay. I think in my hand rotation I get a little bit of a delay, but I don't think that's going to actually relay once there's a motor there. The notch here and here is for the mechanism to clear. Let me take all this over to the motor and show you that. This, by the way, is my framework. I'll show you that while I got that off. This is just a regular trash can I actually found by the roadside. Somebody had mixed their drywall compound in there and then discarded the trash can, and I picked that up for free. So I got a nice black Halloween-esque trash can for free. This is my framework to support the whole system. It's real simple, just wood pieces. I made the two boxes, and then I only put two supports here and here because I needed the room here, and I thought I would need room here, so I just put the two supports opposite ends, and this stands up in the trash can and supports everything. So it's a little wobbly, but once it's inside, there's really nothing it can cause problems with. I actually needed this area clear for the motor to set in this area and the linkage and everything over here at the other end. So that's why, another reason why I didn't put a support here to make it stronger here, and I needed just a little bit of flex to get it in there and everything, and it's not quite square once it gets to the bottom. So that's what I did for that. Anyways, let me show you what's this. Okay, and then this sits here, and I have a couple screws that will go to the original bolt. Here we go. Let's see, get out of the light there. You can barely see. There's a screw hole there, and then opposite side there, you can see that one better. And what I did was I already had a hole in the wood where I wanted the screw to be for the motor mount on this side here, and I put just a temporary pin through to hold it still, and then I put just a dab of paint on that side, which is, let's see if I can get enough light on this. Okay, there's my dab of paint that marked where the hole was for there, and I drilled straight through it where it left the opening and didn't make contact. So I had a little bit of a smudge, but I had a circle marking where I needed to drill through, and that's how I lined up the distance between to be able to hit that spot on. So that's what I did for that. This will set here and about there. The linkage, I need to drill this out, but the linkage will set there. All of this needs to be bolted down very tightly, because the counterweight caused by this here, this causes quite a bit of vibration in the motor, as some of you probably already know. So just that little bit causes me a bit of grief. Let's see here. I can't really spin this without... you get the idea, though. That goes around there. I can't hold both and everything. I don't have the screws yet to go through here and here yet, so I can't really show you that part. But you can imagine as this rotates, oops, you get the desired effect of turning the axles, and then each one of the axles will turn the worms. I tried just a vibration shaker method with just a little fan motor, and tried to get the worms to shake and get the effect, but it looked pretty lame, and it inspired me to really get to work on this. Also, the wood is carved out there. I made kind of a hasty measurement and measured from the center of this bolt to the center of this bolt to find out what my total swing motion is, and the total swing from this one side to the other is 6 1/4 inches. So on that, I cut out my hole for the support, and I didn't take into consideration the head of the bolt goes all the way to the outside, not the center. So I had to router this out, and then the linkage also goes over the edge here a little bit, over where my screws were, so I had to countersink where the screws go also. So I did all this with a Dremel. I don't have a actual router. I just took a grinding barrel, or whatever they call them, kind of thing. It's got like 100 grit sandpaper on it, and I routed that out and everything. So that's what I got. I'm just about at 15 minutes. I'll update you more later.